Hey, what? Linda is stuck again? I better send her more money.
Hey, Puye, you sending money to Linda again? I told you it's a scam, you still send?
No, I tell you confirm not scam. You wait cause I need to...
Hey, Puye, your brain fried got hyong. I told you Linda doesn't exist, Why you still don't believe me?
Your boyfriend then don't exist, don't anyhow he say. I talk to her every night, so she definitely exists.
Hey, Puye, I told you it's a scam and that Linda doesn't exist. Why you rather believe a person whom you have not seen before than your best NS friend who dark shell script with you?
If you're really my friend, you shouldn't be jealous that I'm finally attached earlier than you. Oh, 老婆. Sorry.
So you send money to Linda or not? I waited for my Labubu so long.
Yes, I'm sure you have come across friends who didn't believe that they are scammed. You see, here's a true story. I know of two people who have been victims of real scams. One of them was initially scammed of $500. Then when the scammer realized that he's so-called hooked, they kept on scamming from him, from $1,000 to a few $1,000s, and eventually, it was when he lost all his savings that he finally believed that he's scammed. I have another friend who still believes, as of now, after losing so much money, that he's not scammed. The worst part is that we, the friends, his family members, and even police officers have told him that it's a scam, but he refused to admit that. I know it's hard to believe that it's not logical, but once you are scammed, logic will no longer make sense. Scammers nowadays are well trained to push the right button to make you feel a certain way, and when emotions are involved, it's almost as difficult as trying to get the Dong Dong Donkey song out of your mind when you have just exited the store. In fact, I bet the song is now humming in the background of your mind as this video is playing once I mention the word Dong Dong Donkey. Dong 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 Donkey, Dong Dong Donkey.
Donkey.
Therefore, the authorities are now proposing a new law, and it will be the first in the world. You see, as of now, the police cannot do anything to a victim's bank account even if they are 101% certain that the victim is being scammed. Even banks can't do anything. I have personally spoken to police officers in charge of this, and they told me that no matter how they try to tell them that they are being scammed, mobilizing an entire team to talk to the victim will still believe the scammers than the police. Soon, if the law is passed, the police will have some powers.
Will the law not be passed since it's just now a bill?
Would your girlfriend not buy bubble tea when she passes by a bubble tea shop since she's now full?
Oh, yeah.
If the police have evidence and are very certain that the victim is a scam victim, and the victim still intends to continue sending money to the scammer, the police can issue restriction orders, also called ROs, to banks, which will then restrict the banking transactions of an individual's account. Basically, when that happens, the victim's bank account is kind of frozen. They won't be able to do things like money transfer. Heck, even the use of ATM facilities and all credit facilities will be affected. And of course, PayNow and in-person over-the-counter transaction will also be kind of frozen. This will of course only be done as a last resort, because this is very disruptive to a person. ROs will take effect for up to 30 days at a time, but can be extended for up to 5 times, which means they can last for up to 6 months. However, the police can cancel an RO ahead of the 30-day limit if the person assessed to be no longer at risk of being scammed. Of course, the scam victim can appeal against the RO. But with a frozen bank account, how can a person survive? No worries, they will still have access to money for legitimate reasons such as paying bills, eating, and buying daily essentials. So buying Labubus and bubble teas are still possible because they are essentials. To do that, they can apply to the police for access to a fixed amount of money, and if they want more money to like pay the bills, they can just show the proof to withdraw for paying the bills. Now, note that this can only be done for scam cases that involve cheating done largely through digital and telecommunication channels like calls and text messages. It won't be for other traditional scam cases that involve in-person transactions, like internal designers scamming you of renovation costs and ghosting you, your friends scamming you to join their MLM, or this worse. Nicole Tam scamming you by telling you that you are like her brother. So on 27 February 2018, 11:33 AM, you bought an LV bag for $4,000 for her and passed it to her at the void deck of Block 123 at Yishun Street 11 on 27 February 2018, 6:15 PM. Nicole Tanabe, if I see you on the street, I will make sure I plug out all your whiskey. Yeah, but if you think about it, it's quite creative, but maybe it won't affect you cause you also no money to scam. Now, to know more about the top 10 scams in Singapore, watch this instead.